Omniscience, learning and autonomy. Okay, what is omniscience here is, omniscience agent will know what is the actual outcome of a action. So based on that only it will act. So usually the omniscience agents are impossible in reality. So even then we cannot predict what will be the actual outcome every time. So we cannot act accordingly. So that omniscience agent will be impossible in reality. So for example, there is a person going on a road and he saw his friend across the street, and he saw that there is no traffic also, and he also does not have any other work. So for example, if you consider that this person is rational agent, so what it has to do, it has to cross the road and meet his friend. But unfortunately, what is happening here, there is a cargo door falls off from the feet of 33, from the height of 33,000 feet on him. He could not meet his friend. Even though he is rational, he cannot reach his friend. Okay. So what is a rationality will say? Rationality is not same as perfection. He could not reach his friend. Even he is rational, he is not able to meet his friend. No? So we can say that rationality is not same as perfection. What is rationality? Rationality maximizes the expected performance, whereas perfection maximizes the actual performance. So that is the difference between rationality and perfection. So whatever expected performance is there, that if it is maximizing, then it is called rationality. When actual performance is maximized, then it is called perfection. So the omniscience is nothing but perfect agent. What is omniscience agent? It is nothing but perfect agent. Okay. So from this we can say that the rationality does not require omniscience. So that the rational, because the rationality depends only on the percept sequence to date. Based on percept sequence only, it is taking actions. So the omniscience does not require rationality. Rational choice depends only on the percept sequence to date. For example, if the agent does not look both ways before crossing a busy road, so if he has to cross the busy road, the agent is not looking at both sides of his busy road. So what is its percept sequence says? The percept sequence does not include to see both the sides, so it cannot observe that large truck is approaching at high speed. So, since this is not included in percept sequence, the rational agent will say okay to cross the road, but actually it is not okay to cross the road. Yes or no? Because the percept sequence does not include this, that is why the rational agent will say okay to cross the road. So from this, what we can say, it would not be rational. It is not correct to cross the road because it is having uninformative percept sequence. It is not having the complete percept sequence. So it is not, yeah, that is why the agent is not taking the correct decisions. Okay. So because of this uninformative percept sequence, there is a risk of accident from the crossing without looking is too great. So the accident, the risk of accident is very high here. The second thing is the rational agent should include this looking action. It has to include this action also before taking the actions. Yes or no? So that it will maximize its expected performance. So what is expected performance in this case? Reaching the other side of the road. So he can reach the other side of the road when it is including looking action also. So from this, we can say that doing actions in order to modify future percepts. So it has to modify future percepts. In this case, what is the percept sequence? Percept sequence is not including looking both sides of the road. Now, because of this action, what is now it is doing? It will modify the future percepts. Okay. So if it is able to modify future percepts, then it is called information gathering. So the information gathering is important part of the rationality. What is rationality? Rationality should give you maximum expected performance. When it will give maximum expected performance? When it will have the complete fully informative percept sequence. Okay, if it is fully informative percept sequence only, then it can take the actions, correct actions. Okay, so if it is not including complete information about the environment, what it has to do, it has to modify its future percepts so that it can able to get maximum expected performance. So modifying future percepts is called information gathering. For example, if you take vacuum cleaning agent, if the vacuum cleaning agent does not know about the environment, that there are two squares we have told, no? Square A and square B, the agent has to clean these two squares. So for example, if the agent does not know about its environment, what it has to do, it has to explore the environment, and it has to know about the environment. So the exploration is nothing but information gathering. So it has to get the more information about the environment to maximize its expected performance. So the information gathering is important part of rationality. So our definition requires rational agent not only to gather the information, but also to learn as much as possible from its percepts. So the rational agent, it should not only gather the information. After gathering the information, it should learn from the percepts. Okay. So it is the definition of rationality. So usually when the agent is designed, in agent initial configuration, so the agent will be having some prior knowledge about the environment. The designer will be designed with some prior knowledge about the environment. But whenever agent gains the experience, what happens? This will be modified. The agent configuration will be modified and augmented, and there are extreme cases in which the environment is completely known clearly, because by experience, what it will do, it will get complete information about the environment. Once it will get the complete information about the environment, what happens? Agent will not learn, and agent does not require percepts. Okay, it does not need any percept, and it is also don't learn, and it will simply act. Okay, so this will give us the dangerous agent, so it will become very dangerous. Okay, so usually if you take successful agent, the successful agent task will be divided into three different periods. How this successful uh, agent function will be divided. The successful agent function will be divided into three different periods. What is that here? The first one, when the agent is being designed, some of the computations will be done by designer. So whenever the agent is designed, initially it will have some computations. The all initial computations will be done by designers only. When it is deliberating on its next action, okay, whenever it is taking decision on its next action, agent will perform more computations. Here the agent will be able to do more computations by itself. Initially, the computations are done by designer. Then in the next period, what it will do? It will able to do more computations by itself. Because of this actions, what it will do? It will learn from the experience, and it does even more computations to decide how to modify its behavior. So after experience, getting experience, what it will do? It will learn, it will able to do more and more computations, then it will modify its behavior. Okay. Like this, the agent function will be divided into three periods. Then in the first period, the agent will be, some of the computations will be done by designer. That is the first period. In the second period, whenever it is checking actions, what is that? It is able to do more computations. The agent itself able to do more computations. In the third period, because it is learning from the experience, so that the agent will able to do more and more computations, and it will able to modify its behavior. These are the three periods by which the successful agent function will be divided. Okay. And now, what is that? To the extent that agent relay, just now we have discussed that agent will depend on its prior knowledge, of its designer rather than its own percepts. So initially the agent rely on its superior knowledge of its designer. So the designer will be giving this knowledge, okay, rather than its own percepts. We say that the agent lacks autonomy because it is not whatever actions the agent is taking, that is not depending upon the percepts, okay. It is just depending upon its superior knowledge. So that we say that the agent is having a lack of autonomy. So when you say that the agent is autonomous, the agent is autonomous if its behavior is determined by its own experience. By its own experience, its behavior is determined. So it is able to learn and adapt. Then we say that the agent is autonomous. So a rational agent should be autonomous. It should learn what it can do to compensate for partially or incorrect prior knowledge. So in the previous case, when when an agent is crossing the road, it does not have the complete information. Okay. So if it is autonomous agent, so it should able to learn what it has to do for incomplete or partial knowledge. Okay. So that based on that it will act and it will able to get the expected performance. Okay. For example, if you take a vacuum cleaning agent, the vacuum cleaning agent learns to see where and when additional dirt will appear. So based on that, it will be acting, okay, so that it will give better performance compared to the other agents, because it is having the ability to learn, and from the learning ability, it is able to see where and when this additional dirt will be appearing. From that, it is able to take the action so that it act better compared to the other agents. Okay. So that is why it is always reasonable to provide AI agent with some initial knowledge as well as ability to learn. Whenever AI, artificial intelligent agent is designed, artificial intelligent agent should be provided with some initial knowledge. It should be, whenever this agent is designed, this agent should be given with some initial knowledge as well as it should have the ability to learn. So after sufficient experience of its environment, after some experience, the behavior of agent can become effectively independent of its prior knowledge because it is having the learning ability, so it does not depend upon its prior knowledge. So hence incorporating learning allows one to design a single rational agent that will succeed in vast variety of environments. Because it is having learning ability, no? That is why the same agent can be used in different types of environments. So it will learn about the environment and it will act based on that environment. So the learning ability should also be incorporated in artificial intelligence agent along with its initial knowledge. So after some experience, what happens? The AI agent, artificial intelligence agent, does not depend upon its prior knowledge. Okay. It depends only on the percepts. Based on percepts only, it will be acting. It is because it learned about completely about the environment. Okay. So once the learning ability is introduced into the agent, what happens? The same agent can be used in different types of environment. So this is about omniscience, learning, and autonomous. What is omniscience? Omniscience will give you the agent know what is the actual outcome. So based on that only it will be acting. So for rational agent to become omniscience agent, it should be having the ability to learn also. So whenever artificial intelligent agent is designed, artificial intelligent agent should be having the ability to learn along with its prior knowledge. Okay. So because of its learning ability, what happens? The agent will be learning about the environment so that the agent will become autonomous agent.